I don't think you will like a Steam Deck. Probably not. I already made my decision on Steam. If I ever enter the rabbit hole that is Steam, I'm gonna do it on a computer, not on a portable system. Yeah, I think I'm thanks Inane Dreams. Take care, man. I think I'm gonna pass on Steam Deck. I'm just gonna pass, man. I don't think I'll ever get it unless it's like $100, maybe less, probably less. And maybe just to collect. I mean, it's just gonna stay there collecting dust. I mean, no, man. I don't think I'll ever get a Steam Deck. Why do you think developers are neglecting turn-based combat? Which developers, if I may ask? I still see in 2023 a shit ton of developers caring about turn-based. You're gonna have to be more specific than that. There's a lot of developers that just don't like turn-based. They want to make action games or strategy games. And there's a shit ton of developers that still want to make turn-based. I mean, 7 out of 10 indie RPGs are turn-based. Do you Mega Man Battle Network games? Do I Mega Man Battle Network games? Not really. Do you like soccer? Nope. Used to when I was real little. Do you think we will see a demo with Persona 3? Beats me, man. Atlus is a bit of an asshole when it comes to demos. They very rarely release demos. I don't think we'll get it, no. I don't think there's gonna be a demo. Blue light glasses. Yes! Those are the ones I'm wearing right now. Crymachina might have sucked a bit. But what's your opinion on Crystar? It breaks my heart that Crymachina looked like it was going to be a much better game, and it just... And in terms of graphics... story, not narrative. I think I may have confused a lot of people with my review, saying at first that the story was very well written, and then I criticized the dialogue and the narrative. You gotta understand, they're different things. One thing is the story, and one thing is the narrative. The story is what it is. What's this game about? About this, and that. And that sounds awesome, right? And it is awesome in Crymachina. But the way, the storytelling... Who tells the story? The characters themselves, right? Who tells the story in a game? The characters. So that's what I criticized. I should have explained that. I should have made that clear in my review. Because when I finished the review the next day, I watched it and I was like, oh my god, that's kind of confusing. Here I'm saying that, I mean, the story is very well written. And 5 minutes later, I'm trashing it. Like, no, the story is good. It's just the character development. It's just the storytelling, the narrative. You know, carried over by the characters, you know, it's kind of ruined by all the romance stuff. It's kind of like, I mean, why? I mean, you had this fucking disturbing and fucked up, possibly mature rated story here, and you just messed it up with all this romance. I mean, Ami kind of ruins the game. Oh, man. At first, I thought she was funny, and I felt like she was gonna grow on me, but no, man, what an annoying character. Kuro no Kiseki is hybrid turn-based. Exactly. That's a game that lets you choose between turn-based and action. But I read that every single boss battle is going to be turn-based. So what I'm gonna do with that game, when I play that game next year, what I'm gonna do is use the action to beat the crap out of regular enemies. And then boss fights are gonna be forced turn-based on you. So that's perfect for me. Works for me. But it's not the first one to do that. If you think this is the first video game in existence to do that, you got it wrong. It's been done before. I have 2 little games for you on the NES and the SNES, and they're action turn-based RPGs. Those could very well work on my video. Little Ninja Brothers on the NES, and there's Super Ninja Brothers. These are games where the entirety of a dungeon or anywhere, you know, it's in 2D. It's like a beat-em-up platforming stage. Action. But the boss battles are turn-based. It's been done before. Story, plot, narrative, how you present the story. Pretty much, that's what I'm trying to say, yeah. That's what I was trying to say. But I should have clarified that in the review. But whatever, you know, it's a really obscure game. I don't think a lot of people were anticipating Crymachina. I mean, for starters, my review didn't get a lot of views. I mean, it's like monochrome Mobius, you know. When I made the review, I was like, it's gonna fail. It's not gonna get a lot of views. But Some RPGs that I play, there's just so much to talk about them, and I find it hard to narrow it down to just 1 minute or 2 or 3 minutes. You know, I feel like it's just some games, obscure or not, even if their review is bound to fail, you know, I think they need it, you know. I don't know, I feel like I needed to make a review about Crymachina, even if it failed. I know most of you don't care, and let's be honest, you probably shouldn't. I mean, I don't know if I can recommend that game. It's just full of problems on the Monarch level. But at least this game was beatable. I beat it. I beat it. I got the true end. No, it's not an unusual game. They tried to make it unusual, but it's just not. It's just they fucked up in a couple of things, and that's it. It's just the Souls-like influence, man. It's starting to kill video games. Leave it alone. Just don't. If you're gonna make a Souls-like video game, do it properly. Make a better research. Don't just say, oh, okay, it's trending, it's a big trend, there's a lot of games that are following the Souls-like formula, and without knowing shit about them, you make your fucking game like that, and you fuck it up. Okay? Just don't do that. I think Souls-like video games should be developed by Souls-like die-hard lovers who know what they're doing, and professional developers. And these guys, these are the same developers who make the Sword Art Online games. I mean, just, no, it doesn't work, man. No. I get this passionate, and I was this passionate more so in the review. I was pretty angry because it broke my heart, man. 10 JRPGs that broke my heart, nah. 10 JRPGs that disappointed me. I already did a video, you know, but it's just... it's my fault, maybe. I was really looking forward to this game. Really looking forward to it because I loved Crystar. Crystar is not a masterpiece. It's a really good game. That's it. It's not like wow, strongly recommended everybody. No, you know, but it's great. It's a great game. And the trailers, the graphics. I mean, the style, the science fiction dystopia. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love that shit, man. So and I go in, I play this game, and it's Nier Automata meets Demon Souls gone wrong? Fuck. But I still beat it. I don't understand why. Don't think that I beat it because of this for the sake of the review. No, I mean, look at my review. What, it has like 6,000 views, maybe less? I mean, no one cared for it. But there's something about Crymachina that I liked. Like I said, and I said it in the review, I like the character design, the science fiction stuff, you know, the graphics, the girls, not their personalities, but you know, their physical appearance, you know, and combat feels great. Forget about the controls. And I said that in the review, the controls are fine, they feel fine. Maybe that's why I've played some fucking train wrecks, and the controls were a pain in the ass. The controls were one of the main problems, but in this game the controls are not the problem, you know. It's just it had a lot of potential, and I really want to love this game. I think this is the most disappointing JRPG for me of 2023. I've never done that video, and I never will because I don't think I can make it to 10. But I mean, what else can I say that I didn't say already in the review? Do you reset in Fire Emblem? You bet your ass I do. I am that guy. I mean, in the old Fire Emblems, the new ones give you the choice to... I mean, if a character dies, they come back. They don't... There's no permadeath. Okay, and I like that. But in the older games, yeah. Even if I was at the very end of a mission, even if I killed everything in this 1 hour long mission, and I made it all, and only the boss left, and the boss kills one character, I reset the fucking mission. I don't like Dark Souls. Can't you already tell? I don't like Dark Souls. Where's his PS5? I knew it was gonna be a question. It's over there. I moved it because I'm tired of it. I mean, come on. We had fun for a while with that joke, but I mean, come on. What's your opinion about fun service? You mean fan service? There's video on it. I suggest you check it out. Brutally honest, it's my real feelings about, my real thoughts about fan service in JRPGs. Check it out. I like the permadeath thing. It adds stakes to the game. Well, yeah. I still don't like it. I hate it. But I suffered through it, and man, getting some Thracia memories right now. Fuck. Oh man. Do you prefer action RPGs? With or without party members? With party members. I prefer any JRPG, any kind, strategy, turn-based action, whatever, with party members. I will always prefer that, always. Currently, who is your top 3 best female characters in game? Oof. Well, you know what? Lenneth is always gonna be my number 1. She's gotta be. I mean, Lenneth Valkyrie, she's always gonna be my number 1. I just love her. Oh man, what a tough question. Shit, okay, so Velvet from Tales of Berseria. And, fuck. Estelle, maybe? Number 3. Estelle from the Trails in the Sky. I'm such a fanboy. I'm such a fucking fanboy. Oh, man. Damn. Probably, yeah. Yeah, let's leave it at that for now. And I'm pulling this answer out of my ass. I'm pretty sure if I open my list of JRPGs right now, and there may be some changes in the future. Well, thankfully this isn't a video, right? I mean, it's just a Q&A. But yeah, let's just go with Estelle Bright from the Trails in the Sky trilogy. It was a pleasure to see her in every other Trails game. Well, she wasn't there in Cold Steel 1 and 2, but she's in the rest of them. I will go for A2, but yeah, okay, Nier Automata is a game with 3 protagonists, but it's like Final Fantasy VI. They sold the game to us as if there was only one protagonist. And for the majority of the game, it does feel like 2B is the main character. And Yum was asking about... Well, no, he didn't. His question is top 3 best female characters, not protagonists. Fuck. Okay, then my answer is different. Well, actually, it isn't that different. But then I'm gonna have to remove Estelle and include Harley from Chrono Cross in there. And Harley, I think she's my number 1 female character. If it doesn't matter if we're talking about protagonists or not, just female characters, yeah, definitely Harley, number 1. But yeah, Lenneth and Velvet, they're staying. It's just a coincidence that they are the main characters. But they're staying, man. Party members are fun. The more characters you have, the better. You have to equip them and develop them. Okay, I agree the first part. The second part, I actually agree too, but I've seen a lot of people bitching about games with tons of party members because of that. Because they feel compelled to develop every single one of them. And no, I mean, why can't you just pick up a small party of your favorites and that's it? Just do that, you know, I do that all the time in Suikoden and Radiata Stories, you know. Okay, in Radiata Stories, I'll admit that I went bonkers. Same with Valkyrie Profile 2. I leveled up a lot of characters, and I shouldn't have. What will Western RPGs need to do different in order for you to like them? Maybe just change the battle mechanics a bit, be more creative, and just try not to be... I don't know, in terms of storytelling, I like the mature side of them, but it just feels like they are a repetition to one another, and if I'm gonna play the same story, recycled story over and over again, I'd rather play a Japanese one. They have more charisma, they're funnier, You know, they don't try to take themselves that seriously. The character development is usually much better. Characters are more likable, you know. And Western RPGs have this really boring side to them, and they're all fucking open world nowadays. So yeah. What will... okay. That was your problem with Trails into Reverie. But let's be honest, man. That's your problem. The game is not forcing, at least not near the end, it's not forcing you. Never mind, it is. Most games do not force you to do that, okay? Chrono Cross doesn't force you to do that. Radiata Stories, Suikoden, they don't force you. But Reverie... Fuck. Anyway. It's hard to argue, you're right. Top 10 JRPGs with ridiculous puzzle solving. Oh, I could make a top 100 out of those, man. 100 easily. Have you ever played or read a dark story that seemed immature? Yeah. How about Twilight? Fucking garbage, the biggest garbage in the realm of literature. I didn't read it, don't worry. I didn't even watch the movies. But I know for a fact they try to be dark and they're far beyond immature. They're fucking stupid, man. But if we're talking about video games, specifically JRPGs, I think I have. I think Crymachina fits the bill. It's a dark game with a dark story that's very immature. Your favorite female character from the Suikoden franchise? Only one? Easy. Sierra from Suikoden 2. She's always been my favorite. I love her. And I wish we could have gotten more of her. Like, she should have been one of the main characters, man. And I know she kinda is in Suiko Gaiden, the first volume. And I loved Suiko Gaiden because of that. But that game is a 10-hour long visual novel. I mean... we need Suikoden Sierra the game. Lady Sierra the game. I think my second favorite is probably Lucretia, the tactician from Suikoden 5. There's just something about her that I love her. She's my favorite tactician. She's up there with my favorites. I really like Lorelei. Vicky, of course. Jean, she's just fan service. I mean, I don't care about her personality. She's just fan service. Really good fan service. But she's a badass in battle. There's only like 1 or 2 Suikoden games where you can actually use her in your party. 5 is one of them. I think 4 is also one of them. Yeah, 4 and 5. She's playable in 4 and 5. And my god, she's fucking broken, man. Thoughts on Shion from Xenosaga? Oh man, I love her. She starts off in the first game as... I mean, she's not that original of a character. And she's like 21 years old, by the way. She's not 17, like 9 out of 10 JRPG protagonists, female or male. But there's something about her. I mean, if Xenosaga was only Xenosaga 1, she will be like, okay, she's okay. But the development she gets throughout the entire trilogy, I mean, it's just very interesting. The struggles she goes through, her past, how she overcomes that, her relationship with Cosmos. I love Shion, man. I love her. What types of powers are you more drawn to? Elemental, black, white magic, highly skilled on a certain weapon, martial artist? Oh, interesting question. I guess when it comes to magic, for some reason, it varies depending on the game. I don't think I have a preferred one, a preferred element or something like that. And in terms of other powers, like certain weapons, martial arts, this is gonna sound generic, but I'm very inclined to sword. But I really, really like bows for some reason. I love bows, but not in all games. I've played my fair share of JRPGs, and in some of them, the archers are my least favorite units. But yeah, usually in Fire Emblem, I gotta have at the very least one archer. One, just one. I usually have like 3, right? But yeah, I love archers. But yeah, it depends. For example, in action RPGs, I prefer the sword. There's only been like 1 or 2 action RPGs where I used a spear, or an axe. For example, in Code Vein. In Code Vein, I used the sword for like the first hours, and I never felt comfortable with it. And in one stage, I used a spear, and I loved it. And I beat the rest of the game with a spear, which is rare for me. I'm not the biggest fan of spears. So yeah, when it comes to action RPGs, I prefer the sword. But when it comes to turn-based on strategy, I usually have 1 or 2 characters of everything. But I also seem to give priority to the sword users. Bows suck in every Fire Emblem game. Okay, man, in my experience, they are some of the most broken characters. I remember in Three Houses. Okay, let me give you something. Archers suck a bit at the beginning in most Fire Emblem games, right? But they can become such broken ass characters with critical attacks and double attacks, and oh my god. I remember in Three Houses, let me give you a recent example. I can give you plenty of examples in the old Fire Emblem games, but in the new one, I'm not engaged. The last one, Three Houses, Bernadetta, wow, I broke her, man. At the beginning, she kind of sucked, but in the end, she was freaking broken. But yeah, in the old Fire Emblem games, man, the sniper class, badass, man. I think every single class is good in Fire Emblem. You just gotta make it good. You gotta train that character and their class to make it good. The games are designed to be that way. There's not a single character class that sucks in Fire Emblem. In any Fire Emblem. You just gotta know how to train that class and that character. What's your favorite rune in Suikoden? Oof, I really like... Even though it is a dark rune and it leads to tragedy, I really like the rune of punishment from Suikoden 4. The sun rune is badass in Suikoden 5. Yeah, the most interesting and most intriguing rune is definitely the rune of punishment. It's like... It's so dark, such a dark and tragic rune, right? And I also like the moon rune, was it? The one that Sierra tries to steal from a certain character. I like that, it pretty much makes you immortal. I like it. What else? There's a shit ton of runes, right? I really like the sun rune. Wish it could have been more present in Suikoden 5, like getting it early in the game. But you get near the end with the Dawn rune. The Dawn rune's kind of boring. Shield rune is kind of interesting too, but not really. It's just a buff rune. There's plenty of them. Plenty of runes that I like. Definitely not the generic ones. For some reason, I like the Falcon. No, there's one rune that what's the name of this rune that gives you like you attack twice. In Suikoden 2, 1 and 2, I equipped that to Victor, because Victor is a bit of a mandatory character for a lot of missions, and I think he's a mandatory character at the end of Suikoden 1 or 2, I think it's 2, and I also give it to the dog, what's his name? What's the name of the dog? Shiro, yeah, the wolf in Suikoden 2. If you equip that rune to this character, the double beat rune, thanks man, that's the one. That's badass. If you equip that rune to your most powerful character, holy shit, give that to George on Suikoden 2 or to Shiro. Fuck, man. And they often perform critical attacks, man. That's one of my favorite runes too. And I like the upgraded rune from Wind that Luke has equipped, and that's a badass rune. Rio's rune, once it gets all the powers and the abilities unlocked, that's also one of the best runes. And we could go on forever with this topic. I can talk about runes, Suikoden runes all day, especially if we're listening to Suikoden music. Yeah, this is Rockland, I think.